Okay guys, so now we have a fair idea of how wrappers work. I'm now going to just continue working on this section of the website, which is like the hero section. So what I've done is I've cut out the mobile phone, and I've cut out the arrow, and I've cut out this background as well. So I saved the background as a JPEG, and I saved this the phone and the arrow as PNGs, and I did that by literally taking the background out and saving it as it is. And I've already uploaded these images as well to WordPress. So let's go back into the grid mode, and let's create a new wrapper by clicking this button down here. And the first thing we want to do is set the wrapper alias. So we want to call this wrapper hero. Okay, and as you can see, we've got like the content in the middle, and we've got something going on in the background as well. So we want to have a fixed grid with a fluid layout, just like that. Next, we want to add in this section here, and we want to have, what I had in mind was to basically have the title here sort of floating in, as well as the text floating in, etc, etc. So we're going to use the soul nav block, the soul sections block for that. And what I'm going to do is just draw out a 580 pixel wide block here. I'm going to choose soul sections for it. Okay, I'm also going to right click, set block alias. I'm going to call this hero graphic. Okay, so what this soul section block allows us to do is put in our relevant details, and it adds animations to it as well. So we got our breakpoint and section settings here activated, and in the sub soul section title we want to add this title. So let's copy and paste that in. Just going to add, spelled platform wrong. Okay, I'm going to change this to a H2 tag, and that's it for that. And we can add an effect by choosing float in up, have it happening over 1 second, and we do the same for the tagline. So here we have a tagline. Let's copy that tagline, and we'll paste that in. There we go. And change that to a H3. And again, we can add the same settings. I'm going to give it a little bit of a delay. Next, we have get the app. So I'm going to have that as, let's type in get the app. I'm going to highlight this and have this as a hyperlink, and it's going to link to get the app section, which is basically the same as what we put in the menu. So let's insert that easily there. Get the app, and we're going to have that fade in up 1 second, and we'll put a 1 second delay on that too. Next, we want to add the image, and this image here will be the image of the phone. So I'm going to choose the phone. I'm not going to have any image effects on there. And here we have our call to action. Now our call to action arguably would be this button, but I have actually used the call to action as this kind of menu thing. And in fact, I don't even know really if I like this arrow. I don't know if I really want it. I think it's just yeah, I don't know if I want it. So you know what, I'm not going to add it. I'm just going to keep it as it is for now. So let's press save, and let's head over to the above breakpoint sub tab here, and where it says above breakpoint, section style above breakpoint, we want to change this to image on the left, text on the right. Okay, Now let's press save and have a look and see what this looks like in the browser. Cool. So our text at the moment is kind of centered and it's pretty much on the top of this graphic, which is what we don't want. So we want to move everything so it's left aligned against the phone. So we do that by changing the content text align to left. And where it says content area margin, we're going to change this to 30% and see what we have here. Press save. Let's refresh. There we go. That's so much more like it. Okay, so now we have that in place. What we want to do is, let's see what this looks like on mobile. So let's refresh or resize. And let's quickly drop this down to a mobile view and see. So on mobile, the text sort of goes on top of the image. We obviously don't want that. So what we need to do is go to the sub-tab menu and click on below breakpoint. And here we want to change this so we have the image on top and a tag in the text below. Now let's press save, go back to the image, refresh and see what we have. That's cool. Except the image kind of just sits there. We kind of want that to be centered as well, I guess. So let's see how we can center this. If we move this to image area 100%, let's press save. This should hopefully move the image to the middle, and there we go. It's taken up now 100% and our text is centered as before. If you don't want your text to be centered, you can of course change that setting here. Oh, not there. You could change it here so it's left. Press save, refresh, and now your text is the same. And this should work. So if you look at this site on mobile, you will also see the animations as well. So let's open this up. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to snapshots and I'm going to save this snapshot as hero layout. I'm going to press OK. And now let's head over to the design editor. So we click here, or the design mode. I kind of fluctuate between calling it design editor and design mode, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. So let's now add this great graphic for the background of the wrapper. So we want to right click on the wrapper, edit this instance and add the image for the background. Let's select that and press use. Perfect. What we also want this to do is where it says repeat, we don't want it to repeat, so no tiling. We want the position to be centered, and we want the size to cover. So that basically means it will cover the width of the wrapper, no matter how big the browser or how big the person's screen is. It will always fit from left to right. Let's press save and have a look at this properly in the browser. Okay, so obviously in the mock-up we had the menu that sort of floated on top and the image was underneath. And how we can get that look is pretty simple. All we need to do is go back to our design mode, and we want to right click on the header wrapper, edit this instance, and we want to go to nudging and change this to, change the method to fixed. And what that does is it makes this navigation now sit above this wrapper. And to get the transparency as well, we want to go back to the background of this wrapper, and we want to just bring down the transparency by moving this slider here. You see? So now we've got the transparency that we need on the site. Perfect. Okay. So as you can see, the telephone or the mobile has now kind of tucked under the menu. We don't want that either. So what we can do is we can add a little bit of padding to the wrapper, to the top of the wrapper, so then the phone fits into where we need it. So I'm going to add, this is just a rough guess, like 150 padding on the top. You can see now it pushes it down. The image, the background image is still there. If we press save, now we could see, you see, super easy. One other thing I've noticed is that there's a little bit of spacing as well between these letters. I think what I'm going to do is the same, add a little bit of letter spacing here. So I'm going to press edit the instance, fonts, letter spacing, 1 pixel. 1 pixels or 2 pixels? Let's see what 2 pixels looks like. Yeah, we could do 2 pixels. And in fact, we can maybe bring down the size of this to about a 16, I think will do. And press save. I didn't lowercase the there, so let me do that as well. So we go to admin, menus, and I'm going to just lowercase this. Save. Not highly important, but it is important, I guess. Right, so let's start styling this this block. So we can style all of these sections individually, which is great. So first, let's start with the title block. Let's see how big we got it here. So this is 39 pixels. Let's edit this instance. Size 39, quite big. 35, 34, 30, yeah, 30 is cool. Color, white, font styling, bold. I think I'm going to give this a little bit of letter spacing as well, which means that I'll have to bring this down to about a 28. That's fine. I'm not quite sure if I like the bold. I think that would be fine how it is. Next we have the text underneath. So let's click this one, change the color to white, font size to 16. Maybe a 14. I can go back into the block by clicking open block options, and I can change where I've added that extra break. So it's just one paragraph. There we go. And last but not least, we have the actual get the app thing here. Now we're going to add some custom styling to this because it's a link. So what we're going to do is press edit this instance, and if we hover over here, you would see there is a little code box which is the same as this code box here, except when we click on it, it actually gives us the block. It gives us the tag for that block already. So all we need to do is put in our CSS classes. So I'm going to add a comment here. I'm going to call this hero. And I'm going to call this call to action. Okay, so this is a link, so I'm going to add an A tag here to say this is a link. I want to style everything that is a link, and I'm going to change the color of the link to white. I'm going to get rid of that underline, so I'm going to go text decoration, none. Actually, I shouldn't change that color to white. I should change that to black for now. Or this color. What's this color? It's a nice pinky color, so let's copy that. Paste that in there. And we're going to say background color. We want it white with a border radius of 3 pixels. And the padding 2%. I think that border radius might be too much. Let's put that at 2. So let's have a look at the 2% and 5%. Maybe 4%. Yep, I think that's about right. And the font weight, we can have that as bold. It's lowercase as well, so I'll have to change that. And let's push this away from the rest of the writing, so I'm going to give it a margin top of 15 pixels. Is that right? Actually, no, that's not right. Let me take that out. We can do the margin up here, see if it works. There we go. So let me just open up the block options here, and we're going to change the get the app to get the app. And I think we need like a little bit of letter spacing there as well. Let's change the font size. Sorry, I just sneezed. 18 pixels, letter spacing 1 pixel. There we go. So now we have our text, which should be Lato as well, I think. Doesn't look like Lato. But just to make sure, we'll choose Lato here. And I'm going to give this a little spacing as well from the title. So maybe like 5 pixels there and 5 pixels at the bottom. Let's go back to this instance and add that extra. So that's roughly what it looks like. So let's go back to the site and refresh and see what it looks like from here. Lovely. As you can see, the animation looks really cool. Super sweet. You can maybe have the text here have a bit more of a delay on it, because it looks like it's coming in at the same time. So I'm going to do a 1 second delay on here as well. Let's press, this can take take 2 seconds. Let's press save and refresh. We can of course have this image have a effect. If I do a completely different effect here to show you, I don't think I'm going to add it, but just to show you that we can have other effects going on at the same time. Ooh, that actually looks nice. I'm keeping that. I did like that. So yeah, that's about it for this tutorial. Now we're going to be heading over to, let's see what other section we're going to here. Let's get rid of that one. So we got the showcase section. So we're going to be doing this section next, okay? Again, with the text coming in different places, animations happening all over the place. So make sure you stay tuned and I'll see you on the other side.